all drivers and F1 team members will need to be fully vaccinated against COVID to attend races this year. F1 chiefs will strictly impose mandatory vaccines against COVID for all drivers, team members, and staff who want to work within the paddock at Grand Prix races next season. The regulations will extend to journalists and VIP guests as the sport sets its stall out ahead of the season opener in Bahrain in March. At October's F1 race in Texas, double vaccination was a requirement of entry to the country and the Grand Prix itself, but in 2022 the same procedure will apply to all 23 events, and critically, there will be no exemptions, with bosses evidently keen to avoid a repeat of the explosive saga that tainted the Australian Open in tennis, with the build-up dominated by Novak Djokovic's battle to compete despite having not received either jab. However, it is not expected that the new ruling will have an impact on that current drivers, with all reportedly vaccinated, and the new mandate is likely to lead to a relaxation of COVID restrictions within the sport, such as reduced testing and more flexibility over the bubble system that team personnel have had to adhere to since 2020. An F1 spokesman said, Formula One management will require all traveling personnel to be fully vaccinated and will not request exemptions. A report from the BBC added that the decision was agreed at a meeting of the World Council of Governing Body, the FIA, last month, after the pandemic initially brought international sport to a standstill in March 2020. F1 was the first to return later that summer on an amended schedule. On the whole, the sport has avoided mass disruption, although 4 drivers have had to miss events after testing positive, including Lewis Hamilton that same season after he had already secured the title. Sergio Perez and Lance Stroll missed a race when competing for Racing Point in 2020, while Kimi Raikkonen was absent from races in Italy and Holland last year. Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Pierre Gasly and Nikita Mazepin have also contracted COVID out of competition. Last season, FIA medical car driver Alan van der Merwe had to miss a number of race weekends after declining to receive his jabs. The Australian Grand Prix will return after a 2-year absence, while a second race in the US will see Miami host its first F1 meeting. Another notable addition is the street race in Singapore, which has also been missing from the last 2 schedules because of issues surrounding COVID. Preseason testing for this campaign, which will see new F1 technical regulations brought into the sport, gets underway in Barcelona at the end of February.